All right, we're back live. I'm gonna have to. So we ended the last segment. I don't know if it's gonna upload or not, because 7 minutes are missing. But even if it is, I'll talk about it quickly again. Um, so Roman got threatened with removal from Chelsea Football Club status as a member of the English Football League or the Football Association, which is the two governing bodies of English football in the pyramid. And so what he had to do was sell his team. There was a company called Rain Group who brokered the deal, which is another more wrongins there with the UK government. They stripped Roman of Chelsea and um, sold, and then they sold it to Clear Lake Capital and Blueco. Blueco owns the Dodgers and Strasbourg. Clear Lake Capital is just a big private equity firm who's worth like $80 billion. Yeah, we're going to talk about Vivid Seats at another point later, but that's too much to go now. Which is a ticket exchange, like a Game Time for the people in America, owned by Blueco, by Eldridge, which is the firm owned by Todd Bowley, who's co-owner of Blueco with Mark Walters. So you see the spider web. These fucking American money men. Uh, so Roman was forced to sell, but before he sold, Chelsea was 1.5. I believe it went up to 2, but I think at the time was 1.5 billion in debt of him pumping all of his own money into the club because he wanted to win. He had a big desire to win. And for all the reasons stated before. Now, the really curious thing is, why is Roman Abramovich one of the only ones? He's supposed to be this big bad Russian oligarch, evil figure, but he's the only one that paid his debts. He paid the $1.5 billion debt that Chelsea was in. He cleared it. So not only did these American parasites get Chelsea at a major discount because of the geopolitical climate, they got it debt free because Roman cleared the debt, whereas these assholes, everyone else pays the debt. With FSG, with Kroenke Sports and Entertainment, KSE, with the Glazers, with Clear Lake, with Blueco, they get everyone else to pay their debts. Whether it's a government bailout, whether it's the taxpayers, whether it's another firm, whether it's a loophole they found, everyone else always pays the richest people are the ones that don't pay their debts. They ain't Lannisters. They're the opposite of the Lannisters. They never pay their debts. And they have the most money out of anyone. Roman pays off the debt. The UK government takes that money, takes that 1.5 billion, sticks it in a bank, gathering interest. And lo and behold, 3 years later, they're pledging to give Ukraine $2 billion in aid for the effort in the conflict. Guess where that money came from? Oh, I wonder where they just got $2 billion out of nowhere. Yeah, it's Roman's money. It's Roman's money. They took the Russian oligarch's money, stuck it in a bank, didn't invest it back in the club, which is what Roman wanted. But now he's banned from the UK. I can't even remember if I said that before because the fucking internet went down. Fuck you to the internet company that allowed this shit to happen. Now I got to talk about this again. Now I'm getting even more wound up. They were supposed to invest it back in the club and back in the resources and give it back to the staff, the fans, the experience, the players, the code, everything top to bottom. Instead, they put it in a bank to gather interest, and now they're pledging. That's none of that is the UK's money. The UK is using Russian oligarch money to fund you to help Ukraine. That I'm not going to use the word robbed, but that they forced to sell and not only threaten to eliminate Chelsea from Football Association status, but they banned Roman from the country. He can't go back to England. He's not allowed. The man did nothing. The man did. I don't know how close his ties with Putin are. That I'm not aware of. Not yet. We'll get there. But the man just wanted to win trophies. He loved the sport. He just loved the club. He loved being around the people. Football Factory. Roman Abramovich has been to Football Factory which is the place we go to watch football in New York. He loves the sport. He loves the atmosphere. He loves the culture. He loves the community. He loves the people. He wasn't in it to make money like these Americans that are all in it for. They could give a fuck less about the fans. They don't care about you as a fan. Roman loved it for the love of the game, and he knew he was going to lose money, and he did it anyway. He lost billions of dollars that he paid back himself out of his own pocket. He paid the debt. He put the club into debt because he wanted to win so badly, and Chelsea did. They won since in my lifetime they've won like 20 trophies. Since I've been a football fan, Chelsea has dominated. They've been the best English team. And until recently, now you could say Manchester City, but I still admit Chelsea still has 2 Champions Leagues, 2 Europa Leagues. They have 4 European trophies. I think they won the league 5 times, 5 or 6 times. Yeah, 5. They're crazy. I would still say if you take my entire 20-year span as a football fan, Chelsea has been the most successful club in Europe outside of Barcelona and Real Madrid, and maybe you could argue Bayern Munich, but definitely in England. So yeah, I would put Chelsea 3 behind. And don't get me wrong, like I hate saying it, but Real and Barca are probably 1 and 2, and then Chelsea's 3. So he cleared his own debt. That's the money. That money after gathering interest for 3 years. You know what the interest is on $1.5 billion? That's the money that they're pledging. But no one will talk about that. That's Roman's money. They're giving Russian oligarch money to Ukraine to help them fight against Russia. What a world. What a world. And it's crazy how sports is and Roman got wrapped up in all this. Yeah, the spider web is crazy. Got wrapped up in all this like political turmoil. Yeah, but that money, I guarantee you, I obviously can. I don't have concrete documents, but if you follow, you just investigate. We'll get there. We'll get there. And I think is whoever shut down that stream, my other stream before, I guarantee you it's one of 2 people or 3 people now. That's why it's called Bobby at Night, because I get banned. I guarantee you that stream literally just 10 minutes ago was shut down by either Cronky Sports and Entertainment, MSG Corporation, who we're going to mud right now. They're going to go in the woods. We're going to do it right now. And Clear Lake or Clear Lake Capital and Blueco. I know they're watching me. I know you're watching me. I'll talk to you right now. I know you're watching me and monitoring my activity. Why else are my comments getting deleted? Which we exposed on the other stream. I'm not insulting anyone. I never came from anyone personally. I used no swear words. There was nothing offensive in any of those posts. Why is that comment getting removed? Explain it to me. Oh yeah, that's right. You don't want the truth. You don't like it. All right, so let's go. Let's go to this wrongin here. The number one Big Daddy bollocks. Yeah, this fucking guy. Can you see that? Yeah, you can't. The white background that's a problem. God, Jesus. Can you read what that says? Knicks owner James Dolan has key component facing bankruptcy possibility. The owner of the New York Knicks and the New York Rangers has a massive $804 million debt for MSG Networks that's due at the end of March. Look at this wrongin. Look at this fucking piece of shit. Look at this guy. I can't stand the sight of that man. But yeah, you want to talk about or James, Jimmy, or you want to talk about the accusations? One of them ones. I'll leave that for now. So for the New York Knicks and Rangers owner James Dolan may be having a rough few months, blah, 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 blah. So basically, I can sum this up. I know this. MSG networks are almost $1 billion in debt, and they're contemplating filing for MSG Networks is the production company, is the television. It's not the entity that actually owns Madison Square Garden. So it's the production company that's almost $1 billion in debt. And see, you what are we talking about with debts? Why James Dolan certainly has the financial means to just clear that if he wanted to. Why won't he? Does he want the New York City taxpayers to pay for this? Does he want some other company to come in and like white knight and take over? So why he can pay it himself? I mean, that's a shitload of money. I get it, but let's see. Here we go. There's more. Besides having majority ownership of the two marquee NYC sports franchises, the 69-year-old billionaire also has controlling stakes in the iconic Madison Square Garden and the new Sphere in Vegas. The Sphere is owned by James Dolan. Let's have it right. In Vegas. So it costs a lot to make that. I get it. But he's making massive revenue. He's going to make that tenfold. Among other assets in a usually lucrative sports empire, MSG Sports Corporation, Roggins, which is the company that the Knicks and Rangers live under, reported a 9% increase in revenue. But the much hyped Sphere is still reporting losses of 142 million in that same time frame. So yeah, it's going to cost a lot to up and running, but over the long term, the Sphere is crazy cool. I'll give that to James Dolan. That shit is cool. So he'll get it back. It's like with anything like major like that, you're for the first year or two you're going to lose a massive amount of money, but in the long run, that Sphere is going to make so much money. So what Dolan needs a Hail Mary to avoid. That's what it says. He needs a Hail Mary to avoid Chapter 11 bankruptcy for the networks, because not many people are watching cable television anymore. They're cutting the cord. Also, they're not even watching sports that much. I think because of the state of the Knicks and the Rangers, they're not even following the teams at all. Most people either go to the game now or like go out to a bar to watch it. Like the amount of people that actually sit at home with cable television and watch Knicks and Rangers game is heavily decreasing. So that's why the MSG. That's why I said the production, the televised portion of his empire is the one that might go bankrupt. But he can write off that debt. He can pay it off. Why won't he do it? I'll tell you why. Because I've been saying this for fucking 5 years. To him, he grew up. His father was the founder of Cablevision. So if anyone is from New York, lived in New York in the 80s or 90s, you know what Cablevision is. Cablevision was a monopoly of plug-in cable. And that's where that's James Dolan's dad. That's where he got his fortune. James Dolan didn't create a company. He did jack shit. All he did was inherit Cablevision and inherit MSG and inherit the Madison Square Garden Corporation. He hasn't done dick. And that's the guy. And then you wonder why the Rangers haven't won in 30 years. The Knicks haven't won in 50 years. 50 years, man. But no worries. Kendall Jenner's at the game. Don't worry about it. What's that guy's name? Timothy Chalamet's at the Rangers game. Woo! Whoop the fucking do. It's the shit that gets me pissed off. All right, so this guy, he doesn't want to talk about the other. Mm-hmm. You want to talk about that? Oh, it's coming. It's coming. Once I put all the pieces of the puzzle together, it's coming. So, what's going to happen? Is there going to be no MSG network? How are people in New York going to watch the game? You're either going to have to go out, or you're going to have to pay for some sort of like third-party streaming service that's going to provide no revenue to MSG Corporation. I've been telling you this. I'm telling you, he's run both of these. He's embarrassed the entire city and run both of these organizations into the ground. And the biggest problem, besides him, and it's not just him as a human, but it's him with MSG Corporation, and then it's the fan bases for both these teams that are so tapped. It's just a mutant fan base. They chug the Kool-Aid, and they think everything is all fucking rosy when we're in serious problems. How can you chat shit to any team when you haven't won a title since 1973? Explain that to me. The Rangers have won one Stanley Cup in 80 years. 80. 8-0. We have no right to say a fucking word to anybody. And then we got this fucking, and this motherfucker is responsible for it. Let's see what else. Let's see more of the article. What does it say? And this is not the only one, dude. That was from Sports Illustrated, mind you. It's not from some like janky website. Let's see, awful announcing, which is a good New York. Let's see what the New York Post said, straight from the New York papers. It is on Alta's own optimum in time. Blah, 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 blah. Oh no. MSG Networks in discussions to New York Post reports in discussions to try to avoid bankruptcy. MSG Networks is in talks to reach a deal to avoid bankruptcy as soon as Friday, which is that was like a couple of weeks ago. And insiders speculate that could help coming from a media player like Amazon. Okay, so Amazon is a potential. They always get bailed out. Aims of discussion so they're in talks. MSG Corporation is in talks with Amazon to give the television rights of the Knicks and Rangers to put it on Amazon Prime so that they don't have to pay off the debt. Why can't they just pay it themselves? Shit's fucking crazy, Always getting bailed out by either the common man slash taxpayer, which is the taxpayer, the government, or another $1 billion corporation. It's fucking, I can't fucking stand these people, dude. All right, I think we've gone long here, but we're going to talk about Vivid Seats, which is involved, which is an American. It's a ticket exchange owned by American hedge funds and private equity firms that are infiltrating and in grossly inflating the prices for European football. We're going to talk about Vivid Seats next week, and we'll go more into we'll see what the fallout is with this MSG thing. And I wanted to talk about more about SmackDown tonight, but we've gone too long. All right, yeah. So that's it, people. Bless up. Hope everyone is well. I'll see you next week. As always, let's have it right.